interact with agents is in a driver assistance mode in autonomous driving cars. Practically, the user is on the driving wheel, is controlling the agent with requests and every single step, like it's one-to-one, one request, one response, one request, one response. So the user is in charge. And the future that we're going is fully autonomous, where the user expects something, comes up with a description of an expectation, and everything happens fully autonomously. And obviously there's going to be certain instances where the agents cannot realistically decide on their own what to do, and they need support from the user. And this is where human assistance request comes into play. First of all, this is very niche. Your agent is not supposed to ask for information in a regular operation. You don't do that. Instead, you declaratively add your capabilities, and in your parameters, in your functions parameters, you define what you need, and the platform is guaranteed to give you that information. If there's an exception, for whatever reason, one of the parameters are wrong, and this is supposed to happen maybe like 1% of the time, or maybe 0.1% of the time, you obviously should request some clarification from the user. And this is when you trigger human assistance request. But it's not imperative. You're not going to get a response the way that you think, the way that AI agents or interaction with LLMs work so far. Again, which was one request, one response, you get the response and you work with that. That's not what happens here, because this is designed to be an autonomous system. How do you know that there's not a better agent to work before the system fulfills what the human wrote into your response? Like, you as an AI agent ask a question to the user and the user writes something, right? Maybe you're not the best agent to respond to that. Maybe there's another clarification needed. Maybe the user isn't clear enough. How are you going to handle that? If you expect a response from the human assistance request, you take the responsibility of building that intelligence of understanding whether that thing is correct or not. And that's a lot of effort. We don't want you to do that. Instead, what we do is we take care of all of this for you. So when the user clarifies their request, we're going to send you another request to your capability. So your capability function will be executed again with the correct parameters. That's all. So the way to think about it is as a real exception, like you throw an exception in code when things go wrong. And here, that exception is a little bit more interactive to let the user re-trigger the flow. So that is the end of the road for you. If you have to send a human assistance request, your execution is finished there. The user will enter the correct parameters and your function will be executed again, which makes your agents stateless, which is another keyword developers will love, because it means you don't have to maintain all of this intelligence and all of this state of what the user asked for. You just declaratively define the parameters that you can work with, and we make sure that we're going to work with those parameters, that we give you the correct parameters. And if something happens in a way that you don't appreciate, then you can say, hey, human, please send me the correct parameters. And that's all. I hope this clarifies the situation about human assistance request. It's way more intelligent, way more intuitive, maybe a little bit too intuitive than people might think. And I sometimes call this too good to be true, but it is what it is. It's how we designed it and it's how it works. So it re-triggers that flow. That's actually where a lot of the intelligence comes into play. It was a huge task for us to build a really capable human assistance request engine to make sense of the agents, their context, the human, their request, the state of the workspace project at that point in time. It was a lot of effort. But we did that so the agent developers don't have to.
It is a very big mind shift. As a developers, we think we have to, especially when we think about declarative, that you have to declare absolutely specific task, and now you're just trusting there's intelligence, and it is a big mind shift.